Hello, hello. Welcome to or welcome back to another episode of Boss Up and Glow Up with Lexi Sample. And in this podcast, we are always talking about mental health, how to glow up, and just how to possibly be the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. Because we only have one life here and we want to make the best of it and be the best version of ourselves possible. And today I wanted to talk about something that I feel is super important, and it's that not everything deserves a reaction because sometimes people will do things that really get under your skin and really piss you off, and you want to freak out, you want to crash out, you want to do the absolute most. But in retrospect, it's not always worth it. And that's what I want to talk about today. Let's be honest. You don't have a reaction problem. You have an energy problem. And I just want to get into it because I want to talk about this today because a lot of you think your problem is that you're too emotional or too reactive or you care too much. No. Your problem is that you're giving your energy to things that were never worth it in the first place. And I need you to really sit with that because reacting feels justified in the moment. It feels like standing up for yourself. It feels like defending your name. It feels like clearing things up. And it feels like making sure people don't get shit twisted. But what you don't realize is every time you react, you're entering an energy exchange. And not every situation deserves access to you like that. And some people don't want clarity. They want a reaction out of you. Some people don't want to understand you. They want to provoke you. And some situations are literally designed to pull you out of your peace. And you keep showing up like it's a fair fight. It's not. You are arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You're explaining yourself to people who already decided who you are. You're reacting to situations that don't even align with where you're going. And you wonder why you feel drained all the time. And it's not because life is overwhelming, it's because you are responding and reacting to everything. And not everything deserves that. Not everything needs to have a reaction behind it. The truth is, reacting to things kind of makes you feel a sense of control. So let's talk about why you do it. Because there's always an underlying reason on why we do things. Because if it was easy to just not react, you would have already done that. You already wouldn't have reacted, but you reacted. And reacting gives you this temporary sense of control. It makes you feel like you're doing something. It makes you feel like you're fixing the problem. And it makes you feel like you're standing up for yourself. Like you're not about to take shit. You're not going to let shit slide. And I get that. I was the same way too. Because silence can feel like weakness when you're not used to it. Silence can feel like you're losing the battle. Silence can feel like they're getting away with it. But here's what you're missing: reaction is not power, it's impulse. Power is choosing. I've been in so many situations in the past where someone would maybe cross a boundary or just do something to get under my skin. And guess what? I'd crash out, I'd freak out. And that I feel like is more of a sense of a weakness than just not saying anything at all. Want to know why? It takes strength and it takes courage and patience to not react. When you react, it kind of makes you look like you have a guilty conscience in a way, but that's not always the case. And you just don't need to put your energy into everything that just isn't worth it. Power is being able to look at a situation and decide, is this worth my energy? Power is being able to sit with discomfort without immediately trying to fix it, defend it, or respond to it. And that's hard because a lot of you were conditioned to believe that you always need to say something, that you always need to clear things up. You always need to clear your name. You need to have the last word. But the most powerful people in the room are not the loudest. They are the most emotionally regulated. They're the ones who don't feel the need to respond to everything. They're the ones who can let things go without letting it eat them alive. And that is a different level of self control. And that is where we want and need to be. Some people are literally baiting you on purpose and you keep falling for it. Let's be real with ourselves for a second. Some of the situations that you're reacting to are not accidental, they're intentional. People will test you, people will poke at you, people will say little slick and sly comments just to see if they can get a reaction out of you. And when you react, you give them exactly what they wanted: attention, energy, and confirmation that they can affect you. And now they know. Now they know what triggers you. Now they know how to get under your skin. Now they know how to have access to your emotions. And you think you won because you said something back, but you didn't. You showed them the door. You showed them exactly how to get a response from you again and again and again. You taught them how to bother you. And the real power move is just not reacting to it. The real power move is making people feel like they can't reach you like that. Because when people realize they can't get a reaction out of you, they get bored. They move on. They lose interest because there is nothing to feed off of. You're not entertaining it anymore. And that's when you actually win. People do these things because they're bored. They want you to react because they find some type of entertainment out of it. I don't understand why, but I know each and every one of you have had a person in your life who would do intentional, annoying ass things because they wanted to piss you off or they wanted you to react. My ex used to do that shit all the time. He would always make comments about like other girls to try to make me mad. I don't know why he would do that. And I told him over and over and over that that pissed me the fuck off and I would react. But that's what he wanted. The second I stopped reacting is when he stopped making those stupid ass comments. Also, I left him, but but that's a whole nother thing. But he would always make stupid little silly comments, which they were harmless. They were harmless, but can cause long-term damage, if that makes sense. You are not protecting your peace if you are still engaging with these people that are trying to piss you off. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm protecting my peace," but you're still arguing. You're still explaining. You're still trying to defend yourself, and you're still doing the back and forth tit for tat. That is not protecting your peace. That's performing it. Protecting your peace means removing yourself from things and situations that disturb it, not staying in it and trying to control it, not staying in it and trying to win, not staying in it to try to prove a point. There's nothing to prove. You can't heal in chaos and nonsense especially while you're participating in the tomfoolery. You cannot heal in that kind of environment. You can't say you want a calm life and then keep entertaining things that disrupt it. And I know it's so hard because sometimes you feel like if you don't say something, it means you're letting people disrespect you. But not every situation requires your presence. Not every comment requires your response. And not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected. And sometimes the most self respecting thing you can do is walk the fuck away. And you know what? Let people think what they want. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, they're going to think and say things about you regardless because they're just like that. They have opinions of you already. Let them think it. Why do you need to defend yourself? They're going to think what they want anyway. Who the fuck cares? Because your peace is more important than being understood by people who were never trying to understand you in the first place. Stop giving a fuck what people say. Stop reacting when people misunderstand you. You understand you, and that's all that matters. Period. Another reason why you may tend to react is you are addicted to closure and not peace. I feel like this one's gonna hit home for a lot of people because in a lot of like friendships, relationships, and things like that, you always want closure and You want to react because you care about the person and you're reacting because you want the closure. You want a resolution to the problem and you just want things to make sense. You want things to feel like everything is tied up nicely, like a cute little bow. But life doesn't work like that at all. People don't always give you closure, and some situations don't always get resolved, and that's normal. And the more you chase closure, the more you keep yourself stuck in things you should have already moved on from because you're waiting for that final conversation. You're waiting for that final, okay, I can be done with this situation. You're waiting for that final explanation, that final moment where everything just clicks and makes sense. Because a lot of times, when you're ending a friendship or relationship, a lot of the time it doesn't make any sense to you, but that chapter has closed. And you want that final moment to come, and sometimes it never comes. So you keep reacting, you keep engaging, you keep reopening situations that were already over, and it is draining the shit out of you. Peace comes from acceptance. Sometimes you just have to accept that things didn't work out and just keep pushing. You're not always going to get closure. You can't chase closure. Closure doesn't always cause peace. Peace comes from saying, I don't need to understand this to fully move on. This happened and that's it. I don't need to get the last word. I don't need to agree with them. I don't need to fix it. I need to just let it go. And that's uncomfortable. But it is so emotionally freeing because in situations like that where you feel like you need closure, they're so exhausting. They're so mentally draining. And then when you finally have that last moment that it clicks and you're just like, yeah, I don't need to understand why this happened. The point is, it happened and I need to just move on and keep it pushing. Because at the end of the day, life goes around anyway. Life just keeps on spinning. Whether this person's in your life or that person's in your life still goes on, whether they're in your life or not. So you just gotta keep it pushing. Because at the end of the day, you're still in your own life. That is all that matters. You don't need an explanation to every little thing that happens. Some things just don't have a reason. And another thing I wanted to touch on is emotional regulation is the real glow up. I have a whole episode on emotional regulation, but I still want to touch on it because this goes hand in hand with everyone talks about glow ups like it's physical. Everyone's always like, oh, I need to glow up for summer. I need to hit the gym. I need to get tan. I need to dye my hair, dye my eyebrows, wax my whole body. But that is not how a glow up always is. Like, they make it about how you look, how you dress, and how you present yourself. But the real glow up is emotional regulation. It's being able to feel something and not immediately react and freak out to it. It's being able to sit with your emotions without letting them control your behavior. It's being able to pause for a second and just breathe for a second, to think, to make an actual decision. Because when you're making a decision, when you're in that state of like chaos and madness, 9 times out of 10, it's not the best decision. So when you allow yourself to pause for a second and just kind of think and breathe and just sit there with your thoughts and your feelings for a moment, you're inclined to make a better decision. Because just because you feel something doesn't mean you need to act on it. And I know it is so difficult. It's one of those things where it's like it's easier said than done because emotions feel urgent. They always feel like an emergency and they feel like they need to be expressed right now. Things feel like they need to be addressed right now, but urgency is not always truth. Sometimes you just need space. Sometimes you just need time. Sometimes you just need to step back and ask yourself, will this matter in a week, in a month, in a year? And the majority of the time, it won't. So why are you giving it so much power right now? Think about that. Whether it's a person, place, or a thing that's making you feel this way, it's not gonna matter in a month or a year. It's not. So just let it go. Let it go. And another thing I wanted to touch on is being silent is not weakness, it's a strategy. And let's reframe this a little bit because a lot of you associate silence with losing. And I want to let you know silence is not weakness. A lot of times it's strategy, it's self control, it's even confidence, and it's you knowing that you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to respond to everything that gets thrown at you because you know who you are. You know what you're capable of, and you're not shaken by the outside chaos. And I'm not saying you never speak up for yourself because there are absolutely times where you should, but not everything deserves that level of access to you. And not everything deserves your voice. Not everything deserves your time. And learning the difference is going to change your life. Like, for example, if you're about to get like hurt, someone is trying to hurt you, that is a time where it is totally fine to defend yourself. Oh my gosh, don't let somebody do that to you. Physically, I mean. But when it's a like a relationship or a friendship that keeps constantly crossing boundaries and you're just trying to figure out what is going on, why do they keep doing this, what is happening, and you're just trying to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together, things like that don't deserve your response. But if someone's trying to attack you, oh my God, totally defend yourself. Do not take what I'm saying right now into that perspective, okay? One thing I want you to do is start asking yourself this one particular question. If you take anything from this episode, let it be this. Before you react to something, ask yourself and ask the situation, is this worth my energy? Not your time, not your attention, your energy. Because your energy is expensive because energy is limited. Energy is what you need to build your dream life, to reach your goals, to become the best possible version of yourself you keep talking about. So, why are you spending all your energy on things that don't matter or people who don't matter? On situations that are not aligned with where you're going and where you want to be. You need to be more selective. You need to also be more intentional. You need to start protecting your energy like it's your income. Because in a way, it is. If you're constantly giving your energy to things that don't serve you, you're gonna have none left. And you're not gonna have energy to pour into yourself. You're not gonna have the energy to go do your workout that you want to do. You're not going to have the energy to go build the career that you want to build. You're not going to have the energy to make the content you want to make. You're not going to have any energy left if you keep wasting it and spending it on things and people that don't serve you in the long run. Even though it feels like you can't live without these people, you totally can, because also people who are meant to be in your life will never make you feel like, oh my God, if I lose this person, I'm gonna die. People who are good people in your life will never even make that like a thought in your head. And I just want to leave you with this, okay? We already talked about this. You don't have to respond to everything. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to defend your name in every room. You don't have to engage in every situation. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You can choose peace and you can choose silence. You can choose to walk away. And that doesn't make you weak. That actually makes you stronger. That makes you disciplined. That makes you self aware. And that makes you so fucking powerful because not everything deserves a reaction. And the moment you understand that is the moment your life gets a whole lot lighter. It'll feel like a weight lifted off of your shoulders. And I was the same way. Like when people used to cross boundaries on me, I used to crash the fuck out and flip out and be like, you don't respect me. Why are you like this? Blah, 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 blah. Now, if someone crosses a boundary, I'm just like, okay. Or I'll like kind of like stay in the moment and then just never speak to them again. I don't know if that's healthy, but Still, it's a little healthier than crashing out, I would assume, because I'm not wasting energy. Like now, if somebody is going to cross a boundary, just think they don't respect me. Why would I care about their opinion? And why would I care if they're in my life or not? If they're willing to disrespect me, why the fuck would I even want to give that a reaction? And why the fuck would I want to fight for this person? They don't care about me, because if they cared about me, they would have never crossed the boundary. I want you to take that into consideration next time somebody crosses a boundary and you think about letting it slide and you think about letting them have another chance. Because if they truly cared, they would not have crossed that boundary at all. Not everything deserves a reaction. Sometimes you just got to stay silent and just keep it pushing. I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Boss Up and Glow Up with Lexi Sample. I hope this episode resonated with you at least a little bit, because I know we've all crashed out over things and then we would kind of like regret it a little later and be like, damn, like, did I really need to crash out? Because most of the time we didn't. A lot of the times these are things we could have just stepped away from and just not let it affect us. And that's where we need to be, because that is the real glow up. If we can regulate our emotions and not react to everything, that is a power fucking move. And you're about to be fucking powerful, because you're going to listen to what I just said and you're going to implement that into your life, and you're not going to react to nonsense. Thank you so much for listening. I love you so much, and I will see you next week.